The fact is, we don't all have equal access to humor. A popular Seinfeld episode from season 8 pointed this out well. In it, Jerry's dentist has converted to Judaism and starts making Jewish jokes.
Hey, Tim. George, you know Tim Watley.
Yeah, dentist of the stars.
What's up?
I'll tell you what's up. I'm a Jew.
Excuse me?
I'm a Jew. I finished converting 2 days ago.
Oh, well. Welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Hey, were you just at the health club?
Oh, well, I didn't do much. I just sat in the sauna. You know, it was more like a Jewish workout. That's it. All right, it is cavity time. Here we go. Now, Rich reminds me, did you hear the one about the rabbi and the farmer's daughter? Huh? Those aren't matzo balls. What?
Tim, do you think you should be making jokes like that?
Why not? I'm Jewish, remember?
I know, but...
Jerry, it's our sense of humor that sustained us as a people for 3,000 years.
5,000.
5,000, even better. Okay. Chrissy, give me a shtickle of fluoride.
It's definitely more acceptable to make fun of yourself and of the groups of which you're a member. Like this comedian at a dinner for the National Association of Asian American Professionals, who jokes about his qualifications as an Asian.
Mother is from Thailand, and her last name is Dalaknik, and her first name, Patra, means mother of a son who is not a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. And also to prove my Asian roots, I got a 1480 on the SAT. I got an A in a 400 level math class. And for 4 years of college, I didn't have a girlfriend.
And listen to the beginning of this famous Chris Rock routine, which, if delivered by a white person, wouldn't be funny.
Who's more racist, black people or white people? Black people. You know why? Because we hate black people too. Everything white people don't like about black people really don't like about black people. There's some shit going on with black people right now. There's like a civil war going on with black people. And there's two sides. It's black people, and it's niggers. The niggers have got to go.
Of course, as it proceeds, it becomes somewhat problematic for white people to be laughing at it. More on that later. The sitcom The Office frequently addresses race and lampoons people who don't understand that when you're not a member of a group, you don't have the same rights to ridicule it.
How come Chris Rock can do a routine and everybody finds it hilarious and groundbreaking, and then I go and do the exact same routine, same comedic timing, and people file a complaint to corporate? Is it because I'm white and Chris is black?
So we're going to reenact this with a more positive outcome.
I will play the Chris Rock guy. I would like to see someone else pull this off.
Well, let's have someone who wasn't involved in the reenactment.
Okay, I will play guy listening.
Great, guy listening. Okay, anyone else remember?
I remember.
Great. You're the Chris Rock guy, and you're guy listening.
Okay. Kevin is a great guy. He's a great accountant. He is not much of an entertainer.
Basically, there are two types of black people. And black people are actually more racist because they hate the other type of black people. See, every time the one type wants to have a good time, then the other type comes in and makes a real mess.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's ruined. He's butchering it. Could you just let me? Every time black people want to have a good time, some ignorant ass.
No.
I take care of my kids.
Wait.
Is always want credit for something they're supposed to do.
So, humor that ridicules groups of which you're not a member is problematic. I'm going to call this the horizontal dimension of humor boundaries. But there's also a vertical dimension determined by the power structure of society. And the rule of thumb for the vertical humor boundaries is that the less powerful can ridicule those above them in the structure, but it will probably be a little problematic and unfair to ridicule those below. Now, it's not a science, And it's probably not even worth attempting to figure out exactly where each group belongs in this pop culture power ladder. But an interesting experiment, though I admit not a very scientific one, is to type the following names into a Google News archive search and then add the word racist. Look at the results for these 4 white male perpetrators. It's interesting to note that the further down the power ladder the victims are, the fewer news stories were written about the incidents. And it's also true, of course, that Mel Gibson is just a much bigger celebrity than JV and Elvis. Still, there's clearly less collective offense taken when Asians are insulted as compared to when blacks are insulted.
He's not strong. He doesn't know if he probably doesn't even know he's Asian yet, okay? He certainly doesn't know he's going to be a horrible driver.
I'm not saying one is better to insult than the other. I'm just noting that in our society, there is a power structure. And when those on the lower rungs of the ladder mock the higher-ups, it's a little more like fighting back. But when those with more power mock those below them, it's a little more like kicking someone when they're already down.
I'm sure the Asian guests will go, no, please book me now.
Chappelle's mockery of whites, while still employing stereotypes such as white people can't dance, is not quite as biting as Chelsea Handler's recycling of the Asians can't drive thing. Indeed, Asians seem to be the trash heap of the humor world.
Danny DeVito, Gronk the View,
Which brings us to Apu. The Simpsons is the longest-running sitcom in U.S. history, with good reason. The writing is very intelligent, progressive, and funny. In this clip, they managed to lampoon racial humor and the people who, unaware of the full implications, still laugh at it.
Yeah, but white guys, see, they drive a car like this.
It's true. It's true. We're so lame.
Apu has shadowed Indian Americans growing up in the U.S. for the last 19 years. If you grow up here, there's unfortunately only 2 Indians who are well-known in the country. Those are Mahatma Gandhi and Apu from The Simpsons. The stereotypicalness of the character, in which Apu is a convenience store owner, where his religion, etc., are regularly mocked, and his accent in particular is very crude, that sort of character would not fly when applied to other minorities in the U.S. If you look at the black character, he's a doctor. If you look at the Jewish character, he's a professional clown. The Mexican character or the Latino character is an actor in a bumblebee suit. These are not stereotypical professions. It's very lazy voicing from Hank Azaria. The accent is actually so badly done. It's actually so crude, it's almost insulting.
And you've written about the accent as part of a tradition of bad Hindu accents going back to the movie Gunga Din back in the 1930s.
Yes.
So there's a history.